Good afternoon, everybody. It's Mike. It is Thursday, the 7th of March, and this is our daily recap. It's been a very slow, quiet day here, but we had a big ramp up, and you can see very low volume overnight, very low volume today. We were up, 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 and we've grinded up, and once again, we came into this trend line where we've kind of hit the brakes and halted here at 518.89. However, we did put a new all-time high in. We did gap up. This this is not real. This is Toss. Toss has huge problems lately with this gaps. We did not fill the gap. There's actually a gap in here, and where's the gap start at? We got to a low of 512.21. So, we know now that at 512.21, there's now a gap to be had here when we come down. Another one there. All right. So market remains very strong. We've talked about this the last couple sessions, but again, it bears pointing out. The pattern this week is the same pattern we had last week. It was the same pattern from the week before, the same pattern back here. And it's these little couple day dips, get the bears all juiced up, and then boom, it's back up to a new all-time high. And you just want to see how strong this market is. I just want you to look at this gap right here from CPI. It has not been tested. It has not been touched. We haven't even sniffed it yet on this market. We haven't gotten to the 21 days since that gap day here. This market is strong. Now, this uptrend, this trend line here has been very valid, right? So this trend line here in purple, very valid. It's actually working very well every time we come up into it. We tend to stop and come back in and go push down. Tomorrow's Friday. We have non-farm payroll at 8:30. I'll open the room early for you guys here so we can take a look at that and trade that and see what we get. Volume today, you can see here on the SPY, only 45 million shares. Bond yesterday, we have about 15 to go. Let's talk about what else was going on today, and let's just go quickly through some of the indexes. The Qs put a new all-time high. It had been lagging, so the Qs finally woke up, put a new all-time high in today. The IWM was not its day, all over the place. I don't know why stocks is doing that, but it, pushed up a little bit but couldn't go. Financials were weak today. The financials were very weak. Energy was stronger today, but still nothing particularly great here, but did break out of this range. Today again was about the semis. Again, I talk about this market as being a very unimaginative market, and it really is. They continue to pile into the same names over and over, and most of them are in the semis. And the real money to be made in AI is going to be made by these data integrators and collectors. But right now, all they can see is the semis. So you have a new all-time high in the SMH. You got another gap here. So, again, creating gaps all over the place in this market. Eventually, when we come in, these gaps are going to be great trades to the downside. Just keep that in mind here as we go, right? So you had that. NVIDIA today, monster move all the way up to 925, new all-time high. Micron, trades so bad. It's a new all-time high here on Micron. But, here's your open. I hate when TOS gets stuck zoomed in like this. Here's your open, right pull from the start, push back up with the high end, then comes down. You just hard this name. It just doesn't trade well. But you get the idea. So you had trades in those. Those were all really good today. Meta, new all-time high today on a beast mission today, plus 519, had a huge run. By the way, most of these names, if you're not with us, we talked about these before the market opened as areas to focus on. We talked about watching Tesla and Google and Apple for bounces today. I call a little bit of Tesla. Tesla, nice little bounce candle today. It went below yesterday's low pre-market, bounced up. We'll see how much more it wants to give. It's still well below the 8-day. This gap at 180.140 becomes your next target. Google had a big day. Nice move up here, trapping people short, gapped up, pushed. Here's your 8-day. That's your next target there. And Apple, despite being very weak, put a new range low in and bounced here, but couldn't hold it. So, continued problems there. You look around and everything else is kind of just trading around in range, holding on in. Coin continues to be very strong as crypto is trading near highs. New multi-year high there on that one. And then let's talk about Palantir and Rivian. Palantir had their event today. They hyped this event. The event was horrible. I listened to it for about 25 minutes. I turned it off. Just not living up to the hype that they had put into it. That said, nice move here to 2750, which is a multi-year high. I'm out here as of today. I've sold my shares. I took off my cover calls. I'm completely out of this one at this point. And we'll see if it wants to come down and fill some of these gaps and come back in a little bit lower here, just as an FYI. Rivian had their big announcement today on their new R2 car. You know, it's a nice car. It's available for pre-order starting, they said Thursday, maybe today or next Thursday, but it's not available for delivery for 2 years. They also announced, the bigger announcement, in my opinion, was they are delaying their Georgia factory, which saves them $2.2 billion. They're in this gap, so we'll put this on our watch list going into tomorrow. You're very, very welcome. So with that said, I wish you guys a wonderful night. I'll be back with you we'll stay late with you guys for earnings tonight. We have Marvel, we have Avgo, we have Doku, we have MongoDB tonight reporting, and Costco. And then we'll get back at this tomorrow morning for Friday. And then going into next week, it's going to be wild, guys. Next week, we have options expiration on Friday for the month of March already. We have the SPY rebalance on that Friday, and we have the SMCI joining the SPY on that day. So everybody have a great evening. Catch you guys live at 8:20 tomorrow morning.